Today, we discuss something we rarely talk about ourselves on this episode of Ancient Egypt and the Bible. In over 2 years as a YouTube channel, we have never done a video introducing ourselves or this channel. And as we approach the mystical 7,500 subscriber mark, I thought it was time to make a video to allow our new subscribers to catch up on who we are. So, by way of introduction, I've gathered some common questions about us and will attempt to answer them here and now. First, why did you begin a YouTube channel on Ancient Egypt and the Bible? Prior to 2019, I worked as an adjunct professor at the University of British Columbia, where I taught courses on Egyptology. Then came the pandemic in early 2020, and all the adjuncts found their contracts canceled as the government mandated a compulsory lockdown quarantine. Suddenly, I found myself unemployed. At the same time, the manuscript for my book, The Ark of the Covenant in its Egyptian Context, had gone to press. So I was in the awkward position where I couldn't really pitch a second book, and at the same time, the government was forcing me not to work because of the pandemic. I had a lot of time on my hands. And never happy to sit still, on May 5th, 2020, I started a YouTube channel on the two things I love most: Ancient Egypt and the Bible. Next, what equipment did you use to start your channel? Given that I was essentially unemployed at the time, we began the channel with terrifying frugality. We had a Nikon D7200 camera. This is the camera we used for our first videos. We had a green screen that was crafted from basically paper we got from a dollar store. We coupled this green screen from 4 sheets of this stuff, and it cost us about $5. And probably the most, how do I say it, hinky, embarrassing, that's a better word, embarrassing, was our lighting solution, which was a trashed lamp without a shade that I had inherited from my dead aunt. This was our lighting solution for the first several videos on this channel. A big shout out to the Patreons that have helped us get better equipment, okay? This is where we started. We're actually much better off now, thanks to the Patreons. Okay? So, our beginnings were really humble. Another question we commonly get is Ancient Egypt and the Bible a Christian apologetics channel? The simple answer is no. Although many people think we are an apologetics channel, we're really an education channel. We create educational videos from a Christian perspective, but we don't do evangelism or advocacy activities. We also don't do altar calls or preach the gospel. This confuses many because our videos do support a classical Christian point of view. However, we make no efforts to try to convince people at the end of the day. If you want to still be an atheist after watching our videos, that's totally cool with us. Our goal is to teach subjects from our point of view so that you better understand that perspective, not necessarily to convince you of that perspective. As such, we freely criticize poorly reasoned or logically weak points of view regardless of philosophical perspective, even if it comes from a Christian point of view. How many employees does ancient Egypt and the Bible have? We have no employees. We write all our own content. We edit every video ourselves. Our core creators are essentially a two-person team, me and my wife Kiara. We also have a dedicated team of volunteers who believe in the work that we are doing, that manage secondary things like our Discord server. However, the content that you see on our videos is the result of our writing and even our photography. What are your credentials? And what are your qualifications to critique anyone? We get this question frequently when we criticize fringe theorists like Ron Wyatt or David Rohl. It's usually an attempt to find a way to dismiss what we say. Ironically, they never ask the same question of their fringe nutjobs. Between the two of us, Kiara and myself, we have 8 degrees. Kiara's has 3 degrees. She holds a master's degree in bioethics from Trinity International University, a BA in theater arts from the University of California, Fullerton. She also holds an AA from Chaffey College, as well as a certificate in systematic theology. She has worked for several missions organizations, including World Vision, World Gospel Crusade, and Missions to Baja. I myself have 5 degrees. I hold a PhD in Egyptology from the University of Liverpool, which is the top school in Egyptology. I also have 3 master's degrees, an MA from the University of Toronto in Near and Middle Eastern Civilizations, an MA in Near Eastern and Biblical Archaeology and Languages from Trinity International University, and a Master of Divinity from Trinity Evangelical Divinity School. My Bachelor of Arts is in Philosophy from the University of British Columbia. I have studied under the greats of the Christian faith, including James Hoffmeyer, Kenneth Kitchen, John Woodbridge, Kay Lawson Younger, and Richard Averbeck. I can read 13 languages and recently published a book, The Ark of the Covenant in its Egyptian Context, an Illustrated Journey with Hendrickson Academic. What is your religious background? What is your denomination? One of the things we try to make clear is that this channel doesn't advocate for any particular Christian denomination. Both of the core team members are believers in Jesus Christ. Together, we have broad experience within the global Christian church. And between the two of us, we have been members of over a dozen denominations, including Assemblies of God, Southern Baptist, Calvary Chapel, Evangelical Free, Plymouth Brethren, Messianic Jewish, Mennonite, Free Methodist, Covenant, Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, Anglican, Roman Catholic, and even Eastern Orthodox. And we have discovered that every denomination has its pluses and minuses. As such, we don't divulge what denomination we are currently affiliated with. This avoids the issues that could result. If I declared a preferred denomination, that would embolden some through a false endorsement. It would also disappoint others when I criticize that same denomination. By not advocating for any particular denomination, we avoid creating unnecessary division. This also gives us the freedom to critique any denomination, even our own. We feel that it is important to be true to the Christian faith while being charitable towards secondary issues, such as denominational distinctives. So, with all that said, we hope you enjoyed this little introduction where we answered some of the most common questions about ourselves. We hope you gained some insight into our particular point of view and our perspective. And we thank you very much for watching our videos. We do really, really appreciate your support and your viewership. And we hope you decide to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of our content. And with that said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time on Ancient Egypt and the Bible.